Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Space Music and Dance Festival 2015. My name is Pramit, and I've got the honor and privilege today to be your host and guide you through the evening, which lies ahead of us. We at Space today feel extremely honored and privileged to present two performances before you. A Rudraveena performance and Krishnamai, a thematic Kathak dance presentation. But before we proceed, I would like to gently remind you of certain regulations which will ensure that both we, the performers, and you, the audience, have a blissful experience here today. Number one, requesting all of you to kindly switch off your phones or put them in silent mode. Number two, kindly refrain from taking pictures or videos of the performances. And point number three, we all know how naughty children can be. After all, today we are extolling the virtues of the naughtiest child of them all, Lord Krishna himself. Thus we humbly request all of you who have come here today with their children to kindly ensure that the sanctity of the evening is maintained at all times. Please feel free to step out at any time if that helps both you and us in any way to make sure that we have a wonderful evening ahead, free of any noise and disturbances. Ye yata mam prabadyante tanstha vaya bhajamyaham. In whichever manner one approaches me, in that manner I favor them. These are the words of Lord Krishna. Yes, we tend to think that there are only a few rigid, ritualistic, conventional ways in which the Lord has to be served, the Lord has to be praised. But our scriptures say otherwise. In fact, there are 5 kinds of bhava in bhakti. Shanta, where the devotee is peaceful, and although he is not externally expressive, his heart is ever filled with joy and love. Dasya, where the devotee serves the Lord as a servant serves his master. Sakhya, where the devotee considers the Lord as his friend. Vatsalya, where the devotee looks upon the Lord as his child. And finally, the highest form of bhakti, Madhurya, where the devotee regards the Lord as his lover. And the form of worship is more often than not supported by the 3 pillars of music, which is song, instruments, and dance. And this is precisely what we seek to present before you today. To start off the proceedings, we present the tunes of the instrument, the Rudraveena. It is also known as Bean, considered as one of the earliest versions of all stringed instruments in the Indian subcontinent. In fact, the Rudraveena has been declared as a World Heritage Instrument, protected and promoted by the UNESCO. And to acquaint us with such heavenly music, we have here with us today Srimati Jyoti Hegde. An accomplished Rudraveena and sitar artist from the Khandarbani Gharana, Srimati Hegde was born and brought up in Sirsi, a small town in the Uttara Kannada district of Karnataka. She pursued her learning in music from a very young age of 12 years and under the tutelage of Pandit Bindu Madhav Pathak and Indukar Nirodhi. Later, she also trained with the late Ustad Asad Ali Khan, who accepted her as his only female Rudraveena disciple, and then went on to complete her masters in music from Karnataka University, Dharwad. Srimati Hegde has won several awards for her performance, which include the Nada Nidhi Award, Lala Chetana, and Dhrupadmani. She has also won various competitions across India, like the Karavali Utsav, the All India Radio Competition, etc. Being a rare lady artist who can play both the sitar and the Rudraveena, her performances take her not only to various venues in India, but abroad as well. Birmingham, Leeds, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and most prominently the London Darbar in September last year are some of the places that have witnessed her melodious performances. Ladies and gentlemen, requesting you to welcome with a thunderous applause, Srimati Jyoti Hegde. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Srimati Jyoti Hegde on the Rudraveena, accompanied by Mr. Raghavendra Nakur, a famous tabla player and listed on the air as an A-grade artist. Let me take this opportunity to call upon stage Ms. Anjana Gupta, director at Space, to felicitate Srimati Jyoti Hegde with a small token of appreciation. At this juncture, I would like to thank our sponsors, Sasken, Karatori Global, Syndicate Electronics, and Central Bank of India, without whose active support and contribution, today's program would have been an impossibility. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next segment of the evening. You would have seen the word Krishnamai printed on the brochures, the posters, and the handouts that you would have seen in the run-up to this particular program. Who or what is this Krishnamai? Well, we all know who Lord Krishna is. Krishnamai is the one who sees Lord Krishna both within and without. While Krishnamai is also a name associated with Radha, every gopi as a lover and supreme devotee of Lord Krishna is also a Krishnamai. The devotee and God feel one with each other and still maintain separateness in order to enjoy the bliss of the play of love between them. This is oneness in separation and separation in oneness. And this is precisely what each and every gopi of Vrindavan felt, and thus each of them became a Krishnamai. Today, let us travel back in time and space. Let us go back some 5,000 odd years, some 2,000 kilometers away from Bangalore, to one Sharad Purnima night in the hamlet of Vrindavan, where the gopis are drawn to the sound of the divine flute. The full moon has risen to decorate the skies of Vrindavan. The Lord Krishna's flute can be heard at a distance. The powerful draw of the Venu Ganahas compelled the gopis to leave their chores behind in search of a celestial union on the divine stage. As the gopis ventured into the forest, they discover that not all Brajvasis have heard the music, and they are among the select few to be chosen by him. When the gopis became conceited about Lord Krishna dancing with them, he disappeared from their midst. They couldn't hear him or see him anymore. They turned frantic and start searching for him. And during this search, the gopis start to seek his return by recounting the story of his life and his leelas, each gopi in her unique way. Will they be able to draw the Lord's attention and unite with him again? Let's find out. Picturize the jail at Mathura. The auspicious hour has arrived. It was Vijaya Muhurta. The star Rohini was shining. The elements were extremely pleasant. The winds were blowing auspiciously. The lakes were filled with lotuses. The gods played divine music. Raga Bhairavi was lingering over the skies. The Kinnaras and Gandharvas sang and danced. There was a rain of flowers from the heavens in joy as Mother Earth was about to receive her Savior. It is then, ladies and gentlemen, that the Lord assumed the form of a handsome baby through the power of his own Maya. The baby was named Krishna, presenting Khangor Badal. Lord Krishna has now grown up into a mischievous child who is fond of playing games on the banks of the Yamuna with his friends. One day, trouble strikes the peaceful haven of Vrindavan. Driven away from his home, Ramanaka Dvipa, by the fear of Garuda, the poisonous serpent Kalia decided to make the Yamuna his new home. The water of the Yamuna for 4 leagues across bubbled with Kalia's poison. The Lord jumped into the poisonous river one day while playing and fought with Kalia, who tried his best to entrap him. Seeing the bridge folk so afraid, Lord Krishna assumed the weight of the entire universe and danced on the hoods of Kalia to the tunes of Rag Sohini, beating time with his feet. Presenting Kalia Daman. The gopis in the next piece glorify and offer salutations to Lord Krishna. He is the beautiful Gopal of Vrindavan who adorns a garland of flowers. He has large captivating eyes. He has the peacock feather as his crown, wears the forest flowers, and has curly locks. He was Cupid, unto Cupid himself. Here we see how the gopis, who are actually much older to him, dance to the tunes of Raga Sahana Kannada emanating from his flute, all the while singing his praise and glorifying his divine form. Presenting Sundara Gopala. In the next piece, we present a pure Kathak performance. Here Krishnamai symbolizes the individual souls that is awakened to the love of God and is absorbed in it. The sound of Krishna's flute represents the call of the divine for the individual souls. In this composition, the gopis' love for Krishna signifies the eternal bond between the individual soul and God. The melodious and the rhythmic dance of the gopis signifies the union of the human and divine, culminating in divine ecstasy. The gopis are like the hollow flute through whom the melodious tunes of Raga Gavati flow, presenting Sargam. In all the hours of chanting the Lord's name, recounting his leelas and extolling his virtues, Krishnamai seeks him in the Sharat Purnima moon that has arisen. She looks for him in the waters of the Yamuna, in the fully bloomed flowers, in the pair of birds and deer. And in vain, she says, O Lord, O blissful you, where are you? O mighty armed one, my friend, show yourself to me. I am your forlorn slave. Drawn by their devotion, desire, and unconditional love for him, Lord Krishna returned to them. The gopis were now able to connect with the Lord spiritually, and thus, amidst the tunes of Raga Desh, began the divine Ras dance. The Ras represents the final Leela of Krishna, for after this Krishna gave up his flute and left Vrindavan forever. It may come as a surprise to many that Krishna can be seen as a thought experiment, as an idea whose time had come in the development of spiritual thought in this part of the world. For example, have ever any of you wondered why Krishna has been depicted as a dark god? Till then, tradition associated white and fair skin tones with goodness and dark with the bad. Unfortunately, something that many of us who appreciate fair skin and buy fairness creams continue to associate with. Krishna was dark. Again, light is needed to see clearly and differentiate, while Krishna represents the darkness where it is impossible to differentiate. Krishna, his leelas, and his gopis also represents those aspects of love that had till then been kept under wraps. Krishna represents an enigma for believers and non-believers alike, and we at Space continue to take inspiration from him. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have with us here today Shri Shankar Shanbhog, who has composed the music of the Ras section of today's Krishnamai's dance performance. Yeah. Requesting you, sir, to please come up on stage, and requesting Ms. Anjana Gupta, Director at Space, to kindly felicitate him with a small token of appreciation. Sir, can we have you on stage, please? We have now come to the end of today's program, but don't go away yet. There's a small surprise for all of you right at the end. Any program is incomplete without the vote of thanks, so I'll begin with a very long list which has been given to me to read out. First of all, I would like to thank some special people for all the compositions that you were able to see on stage today. First of all, for Ghangor Badal, Pandit Birju Maharaj. For Kalia Daman, Guru Chitra Venugopal. For Sundara Gopala, Pandit Birju Maharaj. For Sargam, Guru Parvati Datta. And for the Ras piece at the end, the lyrics were written by poet Krishna Das, the music by Sri Shankar Shanbhog, choreography by Ms. Shruti Gupta, and concept and direction by Srimati Anjana Gupta. In vocals, we had Sri Raghunandan. Tabla was given by Sri Harsha, Gungolmat, and Sri Jagadish. At flute, we had Sri Giridhar and Sri Prakash. On sitar, we had Sri Vijay and Srimati Shruti Kamath. The padant was sung by Srimati Anjana Gupta. The makeup was given by Sri Kanakraj. At lighting, we had Dr. Neena Jaju Pingle and her team of students, Hitesh, Supriya, and Ekta from Raffles International Millennium. On backstage to help us out, we had the following volunteers. We had Nupur, Dimple, Indrani, Krishna, Nishi, Anita, Selvi, and Shanmukhi, and of course the entire space team. For costumes, we had Needle and I. The creative design was done by Sharat. And probably the people who formed the most important part of today's performance, the dancers, Anjali, Antara, Srilata, Yutika, Kavya, Diya, Monisha, Diksha, Ulka, Anushri, Mithali, Anoshka, Supriya, Sindhu, Minakshi, Amrita, Sandhya, Shachi, Chanchal, Trisha, Shruti, and Anjana. It's highly impossible I would have missed out anyone's name, but in case I have, please feel free to beat me up at the end. We would also like to thank our sponsors once again, Sasuke and Karaturi Global, Syndicate Electronics, and Central Bank of India. We are truly thankful to all of you. And last but not the least, you for being such a wonderful audience and coming here and watching this program. Thanks for being here once again. Okay, she's asking me to thank myself for comparing. So yeah, Pramit here. Thanks once again. And thanks a lot for coming here again. Have a great evening ahead. Good night.